Hello there, and welcome back to the Jungle Climber playthrough with me, the Jonin Monkey. Last time, we defeated the final boss on Lost Island, and now we visit the spooky Ghost Island. And we start off with this pretty interesting level. Basically, what Cranky is basically saying there, the fog is so thick that you can't actually see anything in front of you. But thankfully, Cranky has a map which shows you where the pegs are. But because DK can't read it and climb at the same time, Diddy has to do it. So basically, as you can see this level, the map appears on the bottom screen, and you have to use that to navigate your way around it, which I just thought was a pretty interesting idea. And that's one of the main things I like this game. It manages to find some interesting ways of using the touchscreen, apart from, well, you know, just the higher and lower views. But yeah, as you can see, Diddy's swinging around with dear life, holding on to DK, but he can't attack whilst you're doing this, so you're vulnerable to any form of attack, like whilst you're in this. So you have to be careful. Although, to be honest, none of the enemies really attack you as such. So the worst thing that can happen is you fall into your doom. Also on this map, you may have seen it a little bit earlier. Any treasures, such as banana coins or whatever, are marked with an X. So if you see an X on the bottom screen, head towards it. Oh, and another thing, there can be some deceptions in this map. Like, see that gate? If you look at the bottom screen, you'll notice that one of the walls surrounding it isn't actually there. So, hop down, grab it. Ah, yes. Now, down below, you'll see the return of a familiar enemy that first appeared in Donkey Kong Country 2. I think it's either Cobble or Clobber. I forget the exact name. It was in. They changed their names in DKZ3, but I think it was one of those two. But yeah, they make an appearance in this game, and whilst they don't really harm you as such, they can knock you off the pegs and, like I said, send you tumbling into your doom. So you better watch out for those. And a return of the bats, which I don't think have been in any other DK game. I mean, they appeared in Barrel Blast or Jet Race, but that came out after this game, so there's not that much point in mentioning them, really. And now we're climbing deeper and deeper inside the tree, which is pretty scary, and it has a return of another familiar enemy, this one from King of Swing. So, I think it's Payon's first recurring enemy. And now, Cranky's explaining the trick to defeating them, which is basically, in order to not be hit by the ghost, you have to remain completely still, which means you either don't move when you're on the ground, or like that, when you hold on to a peg, just hold on to the with both hands and don't swing round. What happens if you are swinging round? Well, let's just say you don't want to be touching a solid ghost, because, as we'll see in a minute, if you move and the ghost manages to touch you, then fright of your life. Yeah, the ghost will scare you, which will paralyze DK and send you tumbling to the ground. And the first time this happens, I'm kind of spoiled this for you because in this game it all depends on the surprise with that experience. The first time it happens, it's really freaky and actually does make you jump a little bit. So I kind of feel bad for spoiling it for you, but oh well. You might enjoy it if you still get the chance to play this game, or if you've already played this game, which I would be questioning why you wanted to play through this, but never mind. If you enjoy this game, I'm sure it freaks you out as well. Anyway, after a leap for the banana coin, we head off. Now, one thing I forgot to mention, the ghosts are slightly different from when they were in the original King of Swing, in that in the original King of Swing, you could attack them if once they were solid. It was basically, but they were homing towards you, so it was simply a matter of holding on, waiting for the right moment, and then smacking them. But in this game, they're completely invulnerable. And I'm sorry, but that was a cheap shot. I mean, honestly, I shouldn't have lost Diddy like that. I mean, the attack couldn't have ended there, but never mind, I'll stop whining. And yeah, the next bit will basically be me desperately trying to get the oil barrel so we can go and visit Funky, which will be the Lost World section. And just so you know, although I haven't shown you the Lost Worlds yet, and they don't really add to the completion of the main story as such in this game. I'll be showing you the Lost World levels in a little somewhere down the line on this playthrough when I'm not being killed by bats. So, yeah, keep an eye out for that one. Anyways, back to climbing up a tree. And we've just killed another bat. So, alright, just thinking about that. For those of you who don't know, there's another, well, playthrough commentator slash let's play, whatever you want to call him, called, the hell... Just go. Yeah, there's another commentator called the Hell Dragon, and so one thing he's infamous for is just having a dislike of bats in video games, which I can kind of understand in some cases, because for some reason bats have a tendency to be the most irritating enemies in games, especially Zubats in Pokemon. God, I hate those damn things. But anyway, yeah, that puzzle is a little tricky because obviously you're having to pull a lever whilst avoiding the ghost, but if you do it really, really quickly, it'll be like, it's possible to get it up to there in one motion and not have them just pass straight through you, but yeah, it all depends on luck, really. And now is off to grab the DK coin, because I am such a good rock thrower, and I am so modest. And that's the end of Spooky Woods. And that, I have to say, that was a fun level, and actually, although I usually hate the kind of horror-themed based levels, because they end up all being the same, I really like most of the levels in Spooky Island, because they do have a lot of originality, or at least some fun elements to them. And this next level, which is question marked, because we're going into yet another dimension, again, does have some fun elements in it, but I'll say that until later. So, we've got the Spiral Warp, now we just need to head off towards it. And with the collection of another banana coin, we're about to set off. What we need to do is reunite with Diddy. And kill all the bats. Yeah, the bats appear a lot in these levels, and they are so annoying. Why are they so annoying? Well, just because they're small, they're constantly flying around, and it's really hard to hit them, and the majority of the time the attack will end just as you're in front of them, like what happened with that Kremlin earlier. But anyway, enough of my raving, it's time to jump through the Stargate into the next world. Can you guess what this is? It's not a toy box, but a giant vegetable garden! I know it's weird, but it makes more sense than the toy box, okay? Yeah, like you said, you can grab onto vegetables with bumps and attack them. But that's for the next part. See ya!